quiet.
I reckon you might have scared him off with that ugly face of yours.
Hello, Gilman.
What do you want now?
Strange thing about that Burnham lad.
Burnham? Kent Riley says I know what you're talking about.
That's odd. He was all over the Arkham press. Must have been a bit of a local scandal.
Them's matters for the police, stranger. Innsmouth's not a town for rumoring and talking.
How's business?
Can't you see I'm busy? Stop bothering me with your talking.
Sorry.
I'm plenty sure you are.
He's not gonna be any help, and only a crazy fool would spend the night. I'm looking for Brian Burnham.
Can't help you.
I'm looking for Brian Burnham.
Sorry, stranger. I can't help you.
I wonder why they cordoned it off. It's locked. It must lead to the back of the variety store. It won't budge. It won't open. It won't open. I'm looking for Brian Burnham.
Kent Riley says I know him.
I'm looking for a young lad called Brian Burnham. He worked in the First National. I'm a friend of the family.
I ain't heard of Burnham, lad.
Right. It won't open. Do you know the Burnham lad? He worked in the First National.
Please, stop bothering me, stranger.
I'm not in town to shop. It won't budge. She isn't going to tell me anything useful right now. Hello, Mackie.
Jack, swell to see you again. Any leads on the Burnham case?
Nope. Did you know the lad at all?
Just pleasantries. Seemed a nice enough fella, if a little rough around the edges. Strange business, though. I'd never have fingered him as a crook. The First National was a well-run store, a rare thing here in Innsmouth.
Okay, Mackie. Thanks.
Goodbye, Jack. Be careful what you're doing. Very careful. Innsmouth's a dangerous place. Not everyone who visits here ends up leaving by the old bus route.
This Mackie character knows plenty, but I don't think grilling him for scraps of information is going to crack this case. What do you know about the break-in at the variety store?
Only what was in the press. You should speak to Thomas Waite. He owns the joint.
Where's his place?
I think the Waite's house is over on Dock Street, near the back of the poorhouse.
Thanks.
Though I warn you, Innsmouth's driven old Waits a bit crazy. He doesn't talk a lot of sense.
That's my sort of fella. He sounds just perfect. What's this Jacob Marsh like?
He didn't show up for our appointment. But then again, the Marshes never do.
Seems like we're both having some lousy luck.
I've only met Jacob the once. He's not the prettiest picture, and a real slimy character.
Maggie,
Hello, Jack.
what's the government's interest in the Marsh refinery, anyway?
It's just domestic affairs. You ask a lot of questions, Jack.
I'm a detective. What the hell do you expect?
What you're after comes under official secrets, if you know what I mean. But I can tell you that our government has become increasingly suspicious of Innsmouth and the Marsh family.
I've heard of the Marshes. Rumors of that family are rife, even on the streets of Arkham. None of what's said is pleasant.
That I can believe. The Marshes have been ruling this port for nearly a century, ever since that plague swept these streets in the 40s.
A plague? Is that why the place is so deserted?
Masses died, so that would figure. There's gossip that old Captain Obed Marsh brought the disease onto this port from foreign trade. Deliberately.
Oh my god. Is that why so many of the townsfolk are suffering from that hideous affliction?
Perhaps. Those from out of town call it the Innsmouth look.
Where did you say Waite's house was again?
I think it's over on Dock Street, near the back of the poorhouse.
It won't open. She isn't going to tell me anything useful right now. A storage cellar for one of the stores. It won't open. The station appears to be closed. It won't budge. It won't open. It won't open. It won't budge. It's just an advertisement for the local Methodist church.
Wine piping, with a good wind piping early in the Towlands Gallants Mass. Ah, my boys, these are the joys of the noble and the brave, who love a life in the tempest strife and a home on the mountain wave. When the driving rain of the hurricane puts the lights of the lighthouse out, and the growling thunder sounds his gong, and the whirlwinds battle out.
A seedy-looking bar called
Do
the Garden.
you think that's the
Unfortunately, it's
valiant
shut.
shrink? Huh? Who's that there? Oh, can you spare a few pennies, young mister? I can give you something for your generosity.
Who are you?
Zadok, that be my name, though too few years it now. Zadok Allen,
Do you know a Brian Burnham?
just a young'un. Worked over the store. He's gone. Killed, I reckon.
Killed? What makes you think that?
Them's from out of town running a store. Taking business from the Order of Dagon. They'd not accept that.
What else can you tell me about this port?
You just bring old Zadok a bottle of something nice, and old Zadok will fill your ears.
If you pardon my asking, have you lived here in this port all your life?
Last 37 years in old lady Warren's house. Before that, over by fishing cannery. Cannery.
Old Lady Warren's? You live in the town poorhouse?
Go and fetch me a bottle of something to wet old Zadok's whistle, and I'll tell you all.
What do you know about the variety store robbery, old-timer?
That'd be Tom's old store, stacked with all sorts of knickknacks and such.
So you know Tom Waits?
I know he took the third oath that I wouldn't. I'd rather die than take that.
What oaths? I don't understand.
Just fetch him a bottle of fine liquor, young fella, and I'll tell you all.
Where can I find this Thomas Waite?
Dock Street, back in old lady Horn's house, in my home. Psst, mister, you just bring old Zadok a bottle of something nice and old Zadok will fill your...
Where can I find this Thomas Waite?
Dock Street, back in old lady Horn's house, in my home. Psst, mister, you just bring old Zadok a bottle of something nice and old Zadok will fill your ears.
From that fine smell of liquor, I'd say it's gotta be a speakeasy. It won't open. It won't open. It's just a trash can. Nothing of interest. The old drunkard knows something. I don't think it would take much to get his tongue wagging. The store is closed. This town's deserted. Where is everybody?
If you don't like it, just turn around and leave.
She isn't going to tell me anything useful right now. It won't budge. Where did you say Waite's house was again?
I think it's over on Dock Street, near the back of the poorhouse.
It won't budge. What happened to your constable?
Nothing.
Oh, swell. You can let me pass then?
No. You'll have to go another way.
What's the grand building across the square?
That's the old Masonic temple. Lots of the Masons use it no more.
Why? Who uses it now?
Them that take grave offense at strangers asking too many questions.
What time are you leaving?
Next ride ain't till late, stranger, if you have a mind to leave.
He's not going to be any help, and only a crazy fool would spend the night. It won't open. Can't see anything of use. It's just a trash. It won't budge. It's locked. It's a variety store, and it's closed. It's locked. It must lead to the back of the variety store. It appears to be shut down. It won't open. It won't open. Nope, nothing important here. It won't budge. The till's empty. An empty safe. The drawer is empty. It won't budge. Why would Brian force entry when he had a set of keys? The store may be low on stock, but it's immaculately kept. Nope, nothing important here. Assorted paperwork, but nothing of any real interest. It won't open. It won't budge. No doubt it's well stocked with bootleg rum. My kind of joint. It won't budge. It won't budge. It won't open. Nope, nothing important here.
Why, you're uncommonly kind, young feller. Here be a little something in gratitude that may help you in your search. Now you be calling me crazy. Like them that's there rumoring and anchoring in Lipswich. But old Zadok's seen all manner of wicked things since before you was born. Old Captain Obed where it all began, telling desperate folks they'd order get better gods, them's that'd answer their prayers.
Didn't the Christian folk of Innsmouth object to such blasphemy?
Aye, they did. It were around 46 that many folks in town were done with Obed and his ways. And all that wild preaching in too many prison, you see. A party of good folk followed Captain Obed's crowd out to the reef. Shots were fired. Next day, Obed and 30 of his followers were in jail. And for weeks all were quiet, till that artful night of 46. Them's out outside reckoned out it being a riot, but I'd seen them, swarms of them.
Look, old man, I don't have time to listen to these fishing tales.
Was a massacre. The jail thrown open. Mounds of the dead and the dying. Shooting and screaming and shouting all across the town square. Come morning, the mess was cleaned up. Old Obed and his family takes charge, they did. Folks were told to keep shy as strangers if we were knowing what was good for us.
Zadok, who did all this? Who did all?
Except the old captain was now deeper in debt to his heathen gods. They were hankering for more than just sacrificing. Obed told folks they had to take the oaths of Dagon.
What the hell are these oaths?
You just ask old Wes about oaths of Dagon. Aye, he take the third oath. Just head over to his hole in the Dock Street. Then you'll see, for definite.
He's given me a key to the town poorhouse. It could come in handy. Where did Captain Obed Marsh learn of these heathen matters?
In war and foreign parts, the old fool I lent to ways of making gains, doing heathen things. He found a tribe of Kanakis in the South Seas led by a savage. Chief went by the name of Wallachia. And his tribe never went without food, for they had all the fish they could catch. Old Obed learned from his Wallachia that these things on this earth as most folks never heard about. Seems these Kanakis was worshipping undersea gods, with heaps of human sacrifices and other heathen things. But they was getting all kinds of favors in return. Plenty of fishing and even gold now and then.
Human sacrifices? Maybe you've had just a bit too much.
I don't blame you for not believing it, young fella. But just answer me this. Why did Captain Obed roll out to the reef of Satan and chant a lot of rites and incantations in the dead of night? So loud you could hear him all over the port. He cast something in the water that eve, out the other side of Devil's Reef. Some kind of thingamajig crafted out of lead. It was given to him by Wallachia.
So, what happened?
Well, not long after the smoke started coming after the chimneys at the old gold refinery, The Marsh family and those that had joined with Obed in his ways has started prospering in the esoteric order of Dagon. Came into being with his Ethan sermon. That shit they do.
What kinds of ceremonies?
Get out of here, lad. Don't wait for nothing. They'll know now.
I think he's had his fill for the night. Zadok. Zadok.
Curse you, lad, for staring at me with them eyes. The old Captain Manel, and he's staying there. He can get me. He can't. No, he can't get me. I had nothing done. I ain't done nothing or told nobody nothing.
Are you okay, old-timer?
Huh? Yeah, leave me be.
Mr. Walters, I must speak with you.
It's Jack. And just hold on there a minute, sweetheart. Are you gonna even tell me your name?
My name's Rebecca Lawrence, and unless you want to join Innsmouth's long list of missing, I'd urge you to follow me.
Missing, huh? Like Burnham?
Of that, I'm not sure. You'd be better off asking the Billingham's daughter, Ruth. She was dating Brian.
What? Who's Ruth?
Quickly, we don't have much time. You've got to follow me. Jack, Innsmouth is a strange place. There are things that have no business being here. Foul, reeking things.
Strange. Trust me, I'm good with strange.
That remains to be seen, but I can help you. My father discovered this strange sign while studying an old manuscript. It seems to ward off the more unusual elements in Innsmouth. Whenever you find one, you can use it to find a moment of sanctuary. Now, I must leave before we're seen together.
I've seen that eye-like symbol somewhere before, but never surrounded by a star. Where's everybody? It's very quiet.
I can't be seen talking to you.
That mug ain't talking to me for anything. That way's blocked by a police line. It's locked. It's locked. It must lead to the back of a variety store. It won't open. It won't budge. It won't budge. Do you know the Burnham lad? He worked in...
Can't say I noticed what you're saying, stranger.
I'm not in town to shop. I'm already fully... It won't open. won't open. It won't budge. The station appears to be closed. It won't open. It won't budge.
Jack, we can't be seen talking together. What is it?
Why do you stay in Innsmouth, Rebecca?
My grandfather, John Lawrence, was editor of the Innsmouth Courier. He was murdered in the slaughter of 46. He had always despised the Marshes and their blasphemous doings, and it was he who led the party out to the reef that night. They arrested Captain Marsh and his order and tossed them in the old jailhouse. A few weeks later, my grandfather was dead. My father saw him die. Him and many others burned alive in the Courier's basement.
All the more grounds to leave.
To leave would be to fail my own legacy. I have a duty to protect the good in Innsmouth, at least what little good remains.
Rebecca, maybe you know. What happened at the variety store?
Ah, Tom Waite's place. The gossip on the streets is that the store safe holds a great treasure. Since the Order got wind of the rumors, they've been desperate to get their filthy hands on it. But it seems they can't get close.
Odd. Do you suppose Burnham knew about it? Maybe he pocketed it before breezing out of town.
I don't know, Jack. He'd only been in town a few months, and we can't be certain he even managed to leave. Ruth Billingham must be involved in all of this somehow. She was desperate for a way out of Innsmouth.
What do you know about her?
Only that she and Brian were close, much to the Order's disapproval. You should speak to Tom Waits. Find out for certain if the treasure's gone.
Where can I find him?
He lives on 803 Dock Street, just by the back of the old town poorhouse.
Where did you say I could find Waits again?
He lives on 803 Dock Street, by the back of the poorhouse.
Where did you say Waits' house was again?
I think it's over on Dock Street, near the back of the poorhouse.
I'm looking for Brian Burnham.
Just leave me be, stranger.
I'm looking for Brian Burnham.
Can't help you.
Constable Ropes.
What you after now?
You ever meet Brian Burnham?
I couldn't rightly say as I remember.
The burglarizing of the First National is big news in the Arkham press. The Burnham lad must be one of your prime suspects. Any luck tracing his whereabouts?
No, that'd be a matter for the Order.
The Order? Isn't this a matter for the police?
Yup, that too.
Who is the Order?
Them's that look after affairs there in Innsmouth. And you'd mind your business not to be asking too many questions.
Seems like the Burnham lad had some doll along for company on this little caper.
All sorts of nonsense and hearsay be gossip about such affairs.
But there was another robbery at Waite's variety store. That much is true?
That's for certain.
How did they break in?
Just down them there steps. Old Tom Waits had locked up for the night.
Right. Thanks. Do you know where I could find Mr. Waits in the evening?
It's getting late. Folks who know what's good for them are generally bolted in their homes by now.
Where is Waits' house?
Look, stranger. Get lost. Stop your bothering me with questions.
He's nothing more than a thug. and I don't feel like pushing my luck. It's locked. It's locked. It must lead to the back of a variety store. It won't open. It's unlocked.
If I see you without fire, I'll report your order.
I'll not say nothing.
Do you know the Burnham lad? He worked in the First National.
Just leave me be, stranger.
Do you know the Burnham lad? He worked in the First National.
Just leave me be, stranger.
It won't open. It won't budge. It won't open. Do you need any help? Disease is rampant in this town. Do you need any help? It won't budge. It won't open. It won't budge. I'm looking for Brian Burnham.
Can't say I noticed what you're saying.
It's the entrance to the town poorhouse. It won't budge.
Since old Lady Warren's passed away, the food is rotten, but we'll die soon enough.
What are you looking at there, old-timer?
Nothing. I'm just looking. What you doing in old Warren's house, young feller? This hole is for the broke and the dying.
I'm trying to find Dock Street.
It's out back of the house. Everything in Innsmouth is rotten and dying. Windows boarded up, and all sorts of curious barking and crawling around black cellars and attics. How'd you like to be living in a town like this, feller?
I've been to more welcoming places. I don't think he's been outdoors for years. He isn't gonna know anything. That Zadok Allen tells some wild tales.
Aye, Zadok's a troublemaker, I tell you. If he weren't such a drunken old fool, he ought to have sorted him out before now.
Innsmouth must have an intriguing past.
Innsmouth's a historic town, stranger. Plenty of history here.
Do you know anything about the robberies of the two stores in town?
No, can't help you there, fella. I can only tell you what I seen from this here window, and that ain't much of nothing.
Do you know anything about the robberies of the 2 stores in town?
No, can't help you there, fella. I can only tell you what I seen from this here window, and that ain't much of nothing.
This almshouse is home to the old and the destitute. These beds reek of sweat and urine. Her sleep is restless and erratic. This almshouse is home to the old and the destitute. These beds reek of sweat and urine. The old woman's dead. It won't budge. It won't open. I'm looking for Brian Burnham.
I never had no Burnham.
It won't budge. It won't open. Hello there, little lady.
Hi, sir.
Are your parents at home?
Daddy's at work and Mummy's upstairs in the attic. She's been bad.
I see. So, what's your name, little lady?
Ramona?
Well, Ramona, could you get your mommy for me?
Nope. Mummy bites. Daddy says we've got to keep her up there for her own good.
Excuse me?
When I go near the door, she growls. I don't love Mummy like I love my daddy.
You don't say. Ramona, I really need to speak to your daddy. Do you know when he'll be home?
Soon, I think. You can wait inside if you like. Daddy won't mind. I'm drawing pictures with my crayons.
That would be great. Thanks. I should check the place over while I've got the chance. Nothing of interest. Nothing of interest. What are you drawing, Ramona?
Pictures of Mummy and Daddy.
What are you drawing, Ramona?
Pictures of
It won't
Mummy
open.
and Daddy.
It won't budge. It won't open. It's a recent family photo. The corner's been torn off. I can only see Thomas and Ramona Waits in the picture. An old chest of drawers. It won't budge. It won't open. The door's bolted shut. It won't budge. Looks like a diary. Nothing of interest here. An old wardrobe. Oh, God. No.
They've taken the last thing I loved away from me.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize what was up there. What the hell was that thing?
There's no time to explain. They'll be here soon. Listen to me closely. You've been the talk of the town all day, asking after the Burnham lad. I heard he never made it to Boston, that he was caught by the order of Dagon.
Did he pocket anything from the store's safe?
Thankfully, no. It's sturdy. He'd never have wrenched it open with a crowbar. There's something in there that needs protecting from the order. You've got to get it out of Innsmouth. Take the key to the back of my store. The safe combination's in my diary, upstairs. Hurry, Jack!
What the hell's in the safe, anyway?
too far this time, wait. We're taking you in for murder. You'll swing for this.
Wait, he didn't do anything wrong.
He killed his own daughter. It sounds less than blood. There's plenty wrong with that. I'm reckoning you do well to mind your own business, stranger. At Innsmouth, we handle things by the old ways.
It won't budge. It won't open. It won't open. It won't open. It won't budge. Nope, nothing of interest. It won't open. Can't see anything of use. It won't budge. It's Ramona's coloring book. It won't budge. Nope, nothing important here.
Jack. Oh, thank God I found you. Waite's been arrested for the murder of his daughter.
I know. It's my fault, Rebecca.
What are you talking about, Jack? What's your fault?
There was something in the attic. Some kind of animal, and I let it loose. It's all my fault. The police dragged Waits off. He can't take the fall for this. He's done nothing wrong. Gotta do something.
Guilty or not, the order will see him lynched for it. There's nothing you can do. Oh, you must have taken quite a bang in there, Jack. Your head's bleeding.
Yeah, I think I was out of it for a little while.
I see you've got some bandages. Use them on your head. It'll help you heal. You're not losing too much blood. You won't need a suture.
Thanks, Rebecca. It's unlocked. You don't look like your standard crook, sweetheart.
Jesus, you crazy sap! Who the hell are you?
Jack Walters, private detective. And considering your recent break-in and entering, how about I ask the questions?
Have you any idea who I am?
No, and I really don't care.
My family has influential contacts in the Order, so I'd advise you to mind your manners, sir.
I'm from out of town. The Order doesn't hold much sway with me.
Really? Out of town, you say? How interesting. I'm Ruth Billingham.
Huh. You're Brian's broad. That figures.
Brian? I don't believe I know a Brian.
Yeah, right. I've been fed that line 1,000 times, and from much better liars than you. Look, Ruth, the rumor around town is that your lover boy's in the hands of the Order.
What? No, that's not true. They'll have him killed. It was all my idea. I just wanted a clean break from here.
What do you want me to do?
I don't know. You're the detective. You think of something. I'll be waiting out at the old fishing cannery the next 2 nights, just past the abandoned railway station to Rowley. When you find him, give him this. He'll know it's from me.
Nothing of interest. Nothing of interest here. It won't open. I must have made a mistake. That's not right. I must have made a mistake. I must have made a mistake. I must have got something wrong. I must have got something wrong. The variety store seems reasonably well stocked. Can't see anything of use. That's not right. I must have made a mistake. That's not right. I must have made a mistake. That's not right. That's not right. I must have made a mistake.